Welcome to the Prevention Platform, where our goal is to equip you with the knowledge and tools you need to prevent problems before they occur. Here at Valley Youth House, we believe that prevention is key to living a healthy and successful life, and we are excited to share our expertise with you. We hope that you find our discussions informative, engaging, and relevant to your own parenting journey. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of prevention together. Today I am joined by Shelby Krupka, who is the Associate Director of Training and Talent Development at Valley Youth House. Shelby is very involved in our wellness committee and personally really embraces the idea and practice of gratitude. Shelby, thank you so much for joining us today on the Prevention Platform.
Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. We are so glad that you're here. We are going to dive right into it. So let's talk a little bit about gratitude because it is November and traditionally that's the time of year when people start thinking about what they're grateful for and what they're thankful for. Along with that, if you wouldn't mind sharing what gratitude means to you personally and how do you incorporate that into your daily life?
Yeah, for me, gratitude really is recognizing what I have as enough. Like gratitude for me really means to kind of slow down, even for a moment, to have stillness and a little bit of mindfulness, and even, an awareness of, enoughness. And for me, almost every morning, or sometimes before I go to bed, I try to mentally list 3 things I'm grateful for. And if I've had a rough night of sleep or I hit my snooze, a couple times, or if I have weird, scary dreams, just taking that couple of seconds. It doesn't have to be a half hour in the morning or at night. It's just a couple seconds to kind of mentally state things that I'm grateful for helps to really center myself just for that moment. And that also doesn't mean that I'm not going to have a hectic day or that there's busyness, waiting me, but it does mean that I'm able to carry a little bit of that kind of enoughness with me throughout the day.
There's a lot of research behind how practicing gratitude on a daily basis can have a tremendous impact on one's mental health. I'm wondering if you have seen some of the benefits of practicing gratitude in your own life.
Definitely. Yeah, I think right when you asked that question about kind of practicing, I think that's really the answer too. I think it really is a practice. It's not always going to be, a checkbox of did I do gratitude or not? It really is integrating it day in, day out, but really shifting your mindset from a deficit mindset to more of that enoughness mindset helps shift perspective. And we know perspective is really big with mental health, right? Someone's outlook on themselves, their life situations. You're likely to view those situations or even relationships too with more grace and kindness and understanding, even empathy too. And we know that automatically translates to someone's mental health, right? And the research too then connects mental health with physical health too. So as a result, your physical health will also respond to situations like your body itself with far less stress, less cortisol, right? All of that, which impacts sleep and appetite and even medical, heart disease and all of those pieces. So it really does have a direct link with that.
Right. I love that. And I also think that when it comes to gratitude, it plays such a role when it comes to building relationships and communities. I don't know if you could speak a little bit more to how gratitude impacts relationships and community building.
Yeah, that's a great question, Ashley. Yeah, I think when it comes to relationships and community building, I think they require a deeper understanding of the parties or people involved. I think if we operate under the assumption that relationships or community building is solely for a transactional purpose, we kind of stay on the surface. And we really lose that real meaning of connection. And maybe we even lose the meaning of trust and safety, which really are foundational in any relationship. But being able to practice gratitude and honestly acknowledging not just the existence or the presence of the other person or community, but who they are and what's meaningful to them and to us, we can foster a deeper connection. And that ultimately provides meaning to that relationship. And I think when we can foster a deeper connection, it becomes more authentic, maybe even more vulnerable too. And I think in that vulnerability and authenticity, there's a lot of strength and longevity of connection, and not just staying on that surface and short term.
I love that. I think when someone says to me why they are appreciative of me or what they're grateful for in regards to our relationship, that does so much for me, and it makes me want to be around that person even more often. It's so important to let people know why you're grateful for them and why you appreciate them. I really love the idea of going beyond the surface in our relationship, so thank you for pointing that out. It's really hard to remain grateful and remain able to practice gratitude when there's a lot of things going on in your life that are challenging, or maybe you're not feeling very optimistic or positive. My next question to you would be, how do you tend to overcome that and remain grateful in the moment?
Yeah, I think, again, it goes back to the idea of practice. I think the more you can practice it, you're kind of strengthening that gratitude muscle, so to speak. But I think especially in challenging times or in difficult times, I think it's important to remember that sometimes the small things really are big things. And it's really deeply personal too. I think during those challenging times, for some people, it might be that kind of gratitude journal, or like a concerted, like scheduled time for reflection that can really be helpful. But for others, maybe it's something as simple as I mentioned, just kind of listing those three things. I know for me, another thing that really helps is to maybe mentally say like a mantra or a phrase, or even song lyrics too. That can be really helpful. And those are kind of bite-sized ways to practice that. I think sometimes we think it has to be this, weekend-long retreat, or this, hour-long meditation session or whatever it might be. But I think those bite-sized pieces are much more realistic when things are difficult.
And that's definitely why I love gratitude so much. The idea of gratitude is really approachable. It's accessible to anybody. And it's something that can be done without a lot of preparation or any kind of props or items. It's just something that can be done in the moment. I really think that it's about changing your mindset. And I love the idea of doing that in bite-sized pieces rather than having to extend it out or draw it out. So just making it a part of your daily life. How would you say, Shelby, that being able to express gratitude has changed your perspective in your own life?
I think for me, expressing gratitude, it also happens to myself, but also to others. So I think that's helpful to remember too, that you can also be grateful for what you have, for yourself, but also maybe what others contribute to you. But I do think gratitude has helped me slow down a little bit and become a little bit more present, a little bit more mindful. And that's not to say it doesn't mean I'm not busy or rushing around, but I think it means that in those times, I'm able to recognize that what I have is even allowing me to rush around or get things done, right? And kind of have that on the other side, allowing me to also be still. So I'm able to kind of have all of those at once. I think stillness and mindfulness and enoughness are all those building blocks of gratitude. But in those moments, it really is just a shift, just to be a little bit more present and in the moment, rather than always looking towards the next thing. But being able to slow myself down can be really helpful.
My last question here is for those listening who are maybe interested in exploring the idea of gratitude and how to practice that in their own lives. Do you have any ideas about how they can do that, especially with other people and in their relationships, maybe beyond a thank you note or things like that? How can people express gratitude in a creative way?
Yeah, that's a great question, Ashley. I think finding out what ways thank you, quote unquote, means for both you and the people you're trying to thank is helpful. I think saying thank you can absolutely be enough. And a thank you card is even a step beyond that too. But I think whatever's going to be more meaningful for that person is really wherein lies the creative way. Like maybe there is an external way, like those thank you notes, or surprising someone with a coffee or something they would enjoy, right? But I also think the deeper way, maybe making time, to spend with someone, right? Calling them up, right? Sending them, a message, or being able to say, I really want to just express this, right? And really that acknowledgement. But I think ultimately it just depends on what really would be meaningful for that person. And that really might be, well, it is person dependent, but being able to find out what's meaningful for them deepens that connection and the reason gratitude even exists in the first place.
That's a great point. Well, thank you so much, Shelby. This was a really great conversation about gratitude, and we appreciate your expertise and giving us a little bit of a glimpse into this part of your life. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode of the Prevention Platform. Be sure to check out Valley Youth House on our website at www.valleyyouthhouse.org, and we hope to see you next time.